I like that when it looks for a server, it puts us in like East Atlanta instead of West Atlanta. I feel like we're broadcasting the same place Tyler Perry shoots movies.
It feels oddly specific.
Oh wait, no, he's on the west side. I'm west of Atlanta. I wonder why it puts us on the east.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I'm bad at geography. Life's hard. Thank you. Well, see, the thing is, luckily I was born as Americans. Americans get free passes that everybody in the world knows we suck at geography.
You're supposed to know your own states at least. That's the
Atlanta's
exchange.
not a state.
Oh, I mean, it's big enough to be.
Yeah, might as well.
It's a city within a state.
Yeah.
It's a city-state within a state.
It is a suck my dick.
It's where I used to live.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody's on stream now.
Oh. So yeah,
Oh.
it's a suck my dick.
Wiz! Somebody bonk him.
Well, I just want you to know your words are forever arched onto the Internet Archive.
Oh no.
I will edit a video if people ask me to cut something out, but I generally don't have the energy most of the time, so.
Meh.
Alright. Got my D100s, I got my D20s, I got D8s for some reason. I am hot and ready. So, thank you. Let's bump this over. Haha! Actually, I lied to everybody. No, you know what? The sun's setting. They'll be fine. It's only going to be there for like 20 minutes. I'll put my head in front of it. Hello and welcome to the Ilderon Tales. Tonight we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Seas and Skies campaign. Saga 1, episode 21 of our campaign. Everything you're going to see tonight, live storytelling. It's cool, it's fun, we like it. And if you're under the age of 14, stop. Boogie, get down. And no, I kid. Talk to your parents. Content's probably not appropriate for you. And other than that, let's jump into our recap for tonight. For everybody who is catching these up like in the future on YouTube or whatever, Roriku has left the party. I'll be controlling him from now on. He is a certified NPC, and we have a full party for the current time forward. Let's do a recap. Last session started on the 7th of Servant. The party was sailing from, in the nation of Heimsdale, on the island of Leetris, sailing from Wetchard's Fist to the port of Nortvigar. They are transporting a prisoner on behalf of the Heimsdale government. The Admiral asked all of you to do this, basically giving you a favor as you are being hunted through the seas by the Gyori Knights. The Gyori Knights are national diplomats, and attacking your vessel while it is on business of the Heimsdale Navy would be a international incident. Which let the party kind of have a comfortable sail. Unfortunately, things that don't apply or that don't care about international law did attack your boat mid-sailing. Archblight agents have been appearing in weird places where they shouldn't be, way further north, circumventing the Nazaram blockade. Your boat swam through a whole swarm of them, and they tried to take over your boat, breaking through the hull and killing the unsuspecting. The party defended against the attack. The vice admiral who you were transporting, the prisoner, was thrown out of the ship. and unfortunately surrounded by enemies. The party, after fighting valiantly to save and recover him, the last hit of that greater zombie bloodied him, and its corrupting touch activated, blighting him with the Archblight, one of the most infectious and terrifying curses / diseases on the face of Ilderon. Heimsdale Navy doctrine dictates that if you are blighted, it is your commanding officer's duty to take your life immediately, saving your soul. It is a soul-devouring plague. In this way, you get to go to the afterlife. Reluctantly, Captain Kai... Oh no, her name slipped my mind. Kieran?
We just called her Captain.
Yeah, Captain Kieran took the Admiral's life as they resurface above the sea, coup de grace him and killing him in the waves. The party got all of the undead off their boat, and their ship was in enough of a condition to limp its way into port. And Ina froze most of the holes in the ship, so it is easy to repair when you get to Northvigar. I told you guys it was going to be a little bit longer of sailing now that you lost your ability to hit your top speed. Your ship goes 15 miles an hour. It is one of the fastest ships on the sea right now. Unfortunately, I'm capping you guys at 60% of whatever that is. Which the math turned out to be like 4 more hours of sailing.
There is one thing left to mention about the Vice Admiral.
Oh yeah, Wiz, for Tuir, recovered his body. The captain has told you that that is dangerous, and it when it starts decaying, it can potentially infect everybody else around it.
Which is why it is being dragged along by, currently in a giant octopus form, my mount from the Fine Steed spell, being dragged along outside the ship.
I think that is a really good place to start. So we're going to pick up there. You have 4 hours until we reach Northvigar. If people want a time skip, we can do that easily. But Wiz, you have been on the surface for some time. You served with pirates. You fought the Heimsdale Navy. Captain Kyron has told you that it's dangerous to have this body aboard, and that, doctrine is to kill it and leave it in the sea. Go ahead and roll me a history check, DC 14, for what you know about Navy doctrine and Navy doctrine regarding the Archblight.
Yes.
Anybody is allowed to help you who is also on deck if people want to contribute to this.
I know.
I'm almost tempted to yell at you because I've grew up in a town filled with sailors, and everyone knows you don't want that problem. Like, Archblight making a little bomb of death is a horrible idea.
No, do that. History.
Ho ho!
16.
Hitting it. Well above it, or decently above it. As Captain Kyron is talking to you, yeah, you don't need to be lectured on Heimsdale Navy doctrine. You know enough. So the Archblight is something that is a problem in the southern seas where Betrayer Isle is. Not something you've had to worry about much. It is generally much like a Terrai's bite, only in a much more infectious and independent magical form. Once somebody's soul has been damaged by this, for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, even if you cure the Archblight, their soul will still bleed out. Think of it like a bag of water, like being punctured. It will still bleed out, and 90% of the times, people will become Terrai. I would say 95% of the time. So, you can cure the Archblight. That is something that's doable, but the person still dies from it. However, Heimsdale Navy doctrine is save the soul over the body, which is why she killed him.
Yeah, and in response to all of the lecturing, Tuaz just going to pinch the bridge of his nose. Oh, it's a good thing that I don't subscribe to any of your all of your military bullshit. It is outside the boat. It is outside of whatever blast radius you are thinking of having, and if it does become a problem, then I will do as I did to all of the same bastard that infected him, that led you to chop his head half off.
Captain Kieran is going to nod, a stern expression on her face. She'll say, "We're on your ship. I'll follow your captain's orders." She is not going to debate.
It is going to be what it is.
Gonna look at Nefria and say, "I'm gonna go check on my men. I'm going to relieve them all of duty, and we'll be on the first boat back to Wetchard's Fist."
That seems fair. What's the Admiral going to do regarding the Vice Admiral's death?
Yeah, it was going to be executed anyway.
Executed and dying this way are two different things.
I agree.
The captain is going to speak up and say, he's from a powerful family inside of Swordhaven, whose fate was the Queen's, but she went and openly execute a heir of the Nirans. However, she looks back, the distant waters behind you. Still that slight rainfall coming down, tossing the ship. She's gonna say, nobody deserves to die at sea, mangled by undead.
There shouldn't be that much undead at the bottom of the ocean.
It should not be, but consequently, strategically, it's probably the best way for them to get around. It's not like they need to breathe.
Cal, you can give me a flat intelligence check if you so desire.
Yeah, I'll make a flat intelligence check. Let's see on how well Cal knows.
I'm gonna put this at DC 13.
I don't have advantage. That's a nat 1, my friend.
Do you want to?
Oh, sorry. That's actually not a nat 1. That is a. That's a nat 2.
You could always use fortunate or misfortune.
You know what? I might as well use some fortune. If I'm allowed to.
Yeah, go for it. If you spend 30, you can gain advantage. If you spend 50, you can reroll.
I'll spend 30, so I'll go down to 70.
Alright. Roll it. Believe in yourself. DC is 13. Much like Tuer,
Good.
you've sailed a little bit, you know the seas a little bit, but the South Seas are a little bit distant to your normal haunt. But yeah, 16. Cal, you've been talking to the quartermaster, Erin. She has told you several reports of Archblight agents coming and appearing where they shouldn't. You also have had those experience with them in the echoes, of them using and navigating this timeless space, and looking for people to bond to in different times and different places, much like the spirits and guides that bonded to all of you. Being able to get around the Nazaram blockade, it's scary it's scary times for people who sail these waters.
Cal is going to have the bio on Cal's body acts like a loading bar for a second, where the lights sequentially go down and just all blink and turn off. Why? They really shouldn't be going around in the ocean that well.
What are you talking about, Cal?
Is the captain still on the ship? Not.
Kyron is. She's gone
Oh,
below
sorry.
decks to check in
Okay.
with her men who were defending the breach.
I think I figured out why they're at the bottom of the ocean, and it's similar to what they were doing during that flashback.
Was it riding a big wave?
No, they're linking to probably linking to people either drowned or on boats in the middle of the ocean. They're linking, and they weren't able to fight back because they weren't bonded to anybody else, and they got locked with them. That's on how they're getting out. That's how they're getting around and moving at the bottom of the ocean. Not needing
Sorry. You're saying that if people are linking with the Archblight in the Echoes, that they're becoming Archblight outside of it?
Potentially? I don't know. Magic. This is a weird form of magic. And it would make sense considering. Remember, the chickens got terrified and linked to them.
Yes, but they didn't become undead.
But we killed all of them on the ship before the ritual was completed. Remember, he was also bonding to Levi, the giant Leviathan that was involved there. That was causing waters to rush out and causing a large tsunami. Wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that if you bond with that, they might be using these echoes to be able to maneuver around, swap places, or link and make you an Archblight.
While not... Well, okay, I was about to say as if I was some sort of expert. We don't know. That is the long and short of it. So we don't know if that is the case. We don't know if this is just a one massive coincidence. We don't have any sort of information to go off besides that. Well, okay, no, tell a lie. We do have one way of asking, and Tua's just going to just knock on it, knock on his chest as if knocking on the door. DM.
Are you trying to talk to the spirit inside of
Yes.
you? Okay. How about you give me a religion check, and this won't be religion. This will be like trying to meditate and connect, like with this
Can
astral
I
spirit.
cast guidance to try and help?
Yeah, go for it. You can give the help action if you want.
I'll play the help action or guidance, whichever one he prefers. Because I only have the action in common to do one or the other. Would you rather guidance?
Please give advantage,
Okay, I will give help.
because I can guidance myself.
Okay.
So advantage and
I'm gonna set the DC at 11 for this. you feel that presence there. Reaching out and finding a way to connect with it is not the easiest thing to do, but it is attached to you.
I just quickly read over a thing, just making sure it applies, and looks like it does. So let us please roll decent with my -1. That's
Yeah.
nature, but it is the exact same roll. So
Wow.
wow, 13 plus 9
All
for a
right.
total of 22.
Think about what you want to ask. I'm going to come back to you in un secondo. Sunrise, you're on deck. Um, for Ina, as you hear footsteps coming down the stairs, people talking, and the captain is going to say, um, 1 second. She comes and knocks on Ina's door with the chicken coop. And she's gonna say, I'm sorry, but your chicken was in that frenzy. Can I inspect it? We can't eat it. Um, she's gonna nod and say, but if it's carrying the blight, it could infect everybody on this ship.
I'll have my crew take a look at it. I'm like keeping the door to where I can look through it, but you can't see any of the chickens behind me.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check. There's like a serious unease to Captain Kyron as you say that. Um, and her expression's going to thin and say, with haste, please. I intend to get the remainder of my men back home alive.
Of course.
Alright. They will not go below deck. They will probably hang out outside the dining area, as below deck is very damaged. With that, let's jump back to air. To air. You search and search, finding this presence and pulling on it. I will say you have a. I'll give you 2 questions of you and Enfelis kind of having a brief mental connection with each other. If you want any more than that as a conversation, you're gonna have to navigate your way into this astral space, and we'll tackle that if you decide to pursue that route. But is too fair?
Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah. First question, as brought on by Cal. There is currently a theory of those who have had their souls bound with Archblight and the Echoes potentially having become Archblight in our present timeline. Do you know if this could be possible?
Enfelis is going to respond and say, no, it's memories of times and places, areas where what you know as your world overlaps with here. You can navigate this space physically if you have ways to anchor and tether yourself, but no compass will do it. For us, you all are our guides.
One thing that was noted in the aftermath of the last echo, any sort of injuries or damage taken uh, throughout the event were then mimicked upon those who paired up, who they were paired up with. There were multiple people who were bound to members of the Archlight, who were then went in well afterwards erupted in a lot of blood. Thankfully, able to be recovered before they died. But what do you think of that?
To navigate this space, it is a realm of the mind and a realm of memories. Letting your mind exist freely in it, the things you experience can be traumatic and straining. The weak-willed could easily die from injuries sustained here.
And that's all being mental. All right, thank you. And Duer will return to presence.
All right. Opening your eyes, you're on the deck. I think Lonley, Galena, Nefria, Enrique, Cal are all looking at you.
Okay, so to that end, to that theory, Kyle, no. It is entirely a mental thing. Any of the damage is, well, any of the injuries were induced because of psychic links. So there's, at least as far as Embellis is concerned, uh, being tied to Archlight in the Echoes has no bearing on being Archlight for us.
Good to know.
That's at least a little bit of a relief. They aren't creating a wave of Archblight in different times and then building it up.
So I would like to revisit my first theory in that they're dead, they don't need to breathe, so they just probably walked. I mean, they've been saying that the Archlight has been a faction for, what, centuries? Almost a millennia?
And they're just randomly attacking ships?
I mean, it's the Archlight. They, as far as I'm aware, they just want to spread and take over everything. So a random ship here or there is technically progress.
Should probably report it when we get to port.
Oh, definitely. I saw just how many there were down there. I'd say there was at least 15, maybe 20 layers ready to drag me down and just beat the other, just essentially drown me and beat the other shit out of me had I not escaped. And I was right in the middle of, the Archlight cloud. You were very lucky not to be near enough.
Mm-hmm.
I did ask Aaron to create a report for when we arrived at Stock. If you will, please give her an account so that she can properly include that.
I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Now, do you want me to send sending to Admiral, telling them about what happened?
Okay, let's just focus on making sure we're all good first before we do anything like that. We know one of us was confirmed blighted and they got killed immediately. Actually, no, that's a good point. I've never personally dealt with the blight. I'm not entirely sure how to check. Well, give me a moment. I'm just going to do something. Tuer is going to make his way below deck.
Okay. I think that's another good point to jump over to Ina. Ina. I'm sorry. Tuna is suffering. Or what was the fish's Luna? Duna. I'm sorry. I've been thinking it was tuna this whole time. Duna. Okay. Duna is suffering. Like the captain said, she was in all of that burst of bile. There was a lot of everything going on. So how mechanically, I guess for like Ina, in world, the Archflight devours your soul over a period of time. In a couple of days, you're a Terrai, and you are very susceptible of like spreading this. And the longer you have it, the quicker and this accelerates. So while it may be slow at first, like day 1 is slow, and you might think like, oh, I've got a whole month for this. Day 2, you might realize, oh, I've got a week for this. Day 3, you might realize, oh, I've got 3 days, and then it accelerates at such a pace that time goes. But to the player, how this works is when you get infected with the Archflight, you have 1d4 of days, representing that acceleration. Each day you'll roll a check against resisting the spread and the acceleration, and if you fail, you lose 1 day out of whatever you rolled. So Duna has rolled 1 day, and she has failed her first check. I won't make you roll a medicine check. I would say, looking at her, you can see that this is probably going to happen tonight. If Okay. As you open your door, Tuer is standing in the hallway, walking towards it. There is a pause between you and him.
Ina.
He like visibly flinches and won't meet your eyes, but is like, "Hey, my chicken needs help."
Okay, well that confirms one fear. Just a moment. I'm going to try something. I assume they are showing signs of blight.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm carrying her.
Yeah, I would say. Can you go to push it off for a second? I would say as you look
I'm going
at...
to use my divine sensibility
Oh wait, no,
to see if I can detect the
he
blight
can't
using
hear
that.
me. I'm muted. He can't hear me. Tuer, as
Yes.
you as Inina asks you for help and holds this chicken forward, you can see the chicken is like slumped down, where normally they have that nice little tuck of their chin. Its head's like leaning a little to the side. Its breaths are labored. Its eyes are darkening. There are no other visual changes about this, but you can tell that this chicken is definitely carrying something, and knowing what you guys just experienced, yes, this chicken is very blighted.
Okay. I would like to use my divine sensibility to see if essentially the blight pings on it. I would pull up on my character sheet, but apparently it's a dog, so I'm on my phone.
Okay, I'll link the divine sense, but so you're trying to see if it's undead yet?
Yeah, well, I want to see if the blight will ping on it prior to any sort of transformation.
Okay, let me read divine sense real quick.
I believe it senses undead and fiends.
Okay, so the chicken is not yet undead. but I will say it does smell bad to you. I would say it smells bad in the way that powerful evil smells bad to you.
Okay, and that is specifically a response to the divine sense.
Yes. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor.
Okay. Am I picking that up from anyone else? Because I know the captain has just walked off, which has probably been as I've been approaching. Am I able to detect that anywhere within that 30-foot radius of me? Which would be above and below included.
The captain made all of her saves, and she wasn't bloodied. So she's good. Cal and Enrique stayed out of the cloud. You were the only other one who went in the cloud.
And I have an immunity to, at the very least, just being there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, that is not good. Okay. You know, we're gonna need Cal, probably, unless this works. I'm gonna try lay on hands, spend 5 hit points to remove disease. I know we discussed this out of character, but in character, this is the learning process.
Yeah. Give me a Arcana check. DC 11.
I'm afraid someone's gonna have to roll that for me.
Okay, I got it for you. I got your sheet open. Arcana. Hold on, I'm gonna take off your divine favor. And your trauma is for, I believe, damage rolls.
You said specifically helps with speaking to undead, which is not this, so yes,
Oh,
you can take
okay,
that off.
fair. Yeah. Speaking to the dead. The chicken is not dead yet, so I am taking that off for now. Let's see. So that was 13. Alright. Tuer. This is pretty standard. You've done this, 100 times to people who get cut by like a rusty nail or something on a ship, or a poison cutlass, when you were sailing before. People who get seasick.
Yes.
As you go through like that rehearsed action to inject this divinity and this power of redemption into Duna, something pulls at you in such a way that it almost unbalances you. You feel this holy energy siphoned out of you in a way that feels violent as it lashes out. Fortunately, you are so well versed in this that you are able to keep that that energy from striking or entering in and just radiant fury inside of Duna, and you can pull your hand back. Your lay on hands is not spent, but you are aware if you try and cure Duna with it, she will take damage.
Okay. Right. So that didn't work. Okay. Well, I only have one other idea. Otherwise, there's going to have to be a repeat of what happened to the Vice Admiral. Let's go see Cal. Come on. Time's of the essence.
Okay, yeah. You think Cal can help?
Oh, go ahead.
You think Cal can help?
I think he's the only other holy person with access to stronger magic than I have access to. So, at this point, I'm making a calculated gamble.
Duna in your arms. Very weak whimpering box as you go above deck. Cal, Ina, and Tuir come above decks. holding a beleaguered chicken in their hands. The chicken's eyes are turning black. Its mouth is also darkening.
Just please be aware, Irina, that if this doesn't work, we're gonna have to toss it. To put it bluntly.
We'll see.
What doesn't work?
So, our feathered friend here has a bad case of about to zombify.
Okay.
I'm able to like remove diseases and all that. I'm basically immune to them as well as fine in the blight cloud. I figured maybe I could remove it using that same power. It didn't quite work. So I'm hoping maybe you have some suggestions or abilities that could help
Tuer,
that.
I'm gonna give. Oh no, my mic's muted.
No,
Oh
it's
no.
not.
Okay.
No, we
cool.
can hear you.
Tuer, I'm gonna give you some extra information for passing that check. Duna is diseased. There's nothing you can do for the disease because a curse is protecting it.
How are you with curses?
I just recently was able to learn the ability to do so. I didn't originally think I would have to remove it at the moment. I can attempt to.
So here's the way that I figure my magic should be working, but there's like this barrier preventing my essentially passing on part of my disease curing, and considering the blight, curses is the logical
Sunrise.
answer.
Roll me a fortune check.
Right. Remove curse only removes the curse, it won't remove the disease, but you can handle that. As long
What's
as
your
I
fortune?
can handle the curse.
In theory, I hope.
I can...
Otherwise, I hope we have enough gold to. Honestly, I don't know if anyone's actually been able to cure the blight.
Well,
Lonley is on deck with you all, and she'll say, "The blight can be cured. You still die. It's the becoming a feral terrai part that's the hard part about it."
for the sake of Ina, we're going to say that death is not an option here.
Okay, well,
I'll
I'm
probably...
Ina is like holding this chicken close to her chest, like holding in sobs. Just slowly petting her.
Lonley, I'm going to... Do you mind holding the wheel for a moment while I try to help with the chicken?
Galana's up there. She'll come and take back the wheel, and she'll say, "Easier to do without a bunch of undead steering the ship."
I'm sure it is.
okay. Ina, may I?
Don't hurt her.
If this works, that won't be necessary.
You can't hurt her without telling me first.
I promise.
Okay. I'll reluctantly hand her over.
Okay. I will take it. I'll take the chicken. I will stand in front of the cow. Okay. When you do it, the moment you have removed that curse, I'm going to try and just remove the disease itself. Don't want to give any time for anything to happen. But
Your trigger will be the bio.
you need to let me know the second you are done.
As soon as as soon as the remove curse is activated, my bio will activate. That's your signal.
Okay.
I cast remove.
On your mark.
Okay.
He will count. Yeah, he'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and remove curse.
Cal, go ahead and give me a Arcana check.
Okay.
I'll also allow medicine. You can choose between the two.
I will
Your
roll- I
remove
will
curse is going to
medicine.
work regardless, but you might get some added benefits on a DC 14 check.
I will use medicine. I have a -1 in Arcana.
Whoa, -1 int, holy man.
I am going to give myself advantage real quick.
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage. Roll me one more check.
Come on. Wow!
That's fine. Cal, as you are dispelling the different elements of the magic protecting this disease, you are also able to see the thing that is speeding it up is this curse that is kind of amplifying it and just turning Duna's soul into like fuel for this virulent plague. You can't, no matter how much you try, you can't get all of it away, and eventually that energy will well back up and kind of perform or reform that barrier. You feel if you were a more skilled healer, you could buy back Duna some time to effectively get rid of the parts of this that are causing the most damage. Nonetheless, you do remove the curse, breaking the magic enough that Tuer can use his lay on hands and eradicate the disease that it is protecting.
It's a bad news.
Oh, do pal.
It- This is after you've already done the lay on hands, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
spend the
spinning
5
around.
points. You do feel that energy leave your body, Tuer.
I will want to get back to my computer.
Okay. Cal is going to say good news and bad news. Good news first, or bad news?
Oh, what's the bad, Chief?
It's going to come back.
Oh,
It's-
I'm sorry. I should have clarified. So, Tuer, you are able to remove the Archblight. Duna is not infectious anymore.
Okay.
She has still been through a lot, and she is going to become undead. That curse is still there, but there's nothing for it to accelerate.
So wait, when
So it's essentially like a nothing curse right now.
basically from what Cal understands is basically the blight is gone, but the curse of coming back as an undead is still there.
Yeah, that's not a curse.
Yeah.
That happens to anybody who takes any amount of damage to their soul in Ilderon.
Okay.
From Terai specifically, or the Archblight.
So bad news.
So we've stopped it from the accelerated dying, but it will still come back as an undead when it does eventually croak.
So bad news. When Duna, correct? Looking at Ina, this is Duna?
Yeah.
When Duna dies, she will come back as an undead. Good news, she is no longer dying to any disease. I was not able to heal her soul. I just was able to remove the curse that was accelerating the disease that was killing her, and he removed the disease. If I was only stronger, maybe I could try to heal it, but I don't know on how to at the moment.
At this moment, Cal, we've done what we can, and Square will turn back around, take a step for Ina, and we'll just
Then What do we do next?
The chicken was just like holding on to it.
It's worth noting that Lonley is on deck with you. She is a South Water healer, um, specializing in helping soldiers get back on their feet from these seas. I think she'd interrupt and she'll respond to Ina, and say, um, there is a difficult expression on her face as she says, you need a seed lily salve. Um, it can stall the decay of the soul, um, and you need constant treatment of it. And in rare cases, and for the more valued officers, it's something we administer back in Wetchard's Fist. Lonley's going to look really embarrassed, turning red and say, I have only one? I don't think we should use it on a chicken.
It's a rare resource. I don't blame you for that feeling.
Kalpahari, to air. Would this same method work if we brought the Vice Admiral back?
It's difficult to say how it would work on someone. Well, currently, they were only dead. He was only dead for a matter of seconds before I applied essentially a undead warding off magic to it, reposing the body. So it does increase the time frame for revivification, like what was done on to Harmana, potentially. However, it is, as with the chicken just now, untested, and the chicken is still alive. We'd have to spend resources to bring the Vice Admiral back to life. It isn't. I don't see why it couldn't be done. And to be honest, it was one. It was kind of one of the reasons I had my mount, you know, recover the corpse.
I know.
I do not abandon people at sea.
If there's a chance this could be used to cure someone else, then I understand not using it for Duna.
At the very least, from what I understand at this point, Duna will be fine for the time being. But if she goes, we'll need to destroy basically all of it. All of her.
I feel like there's a bit of like some misunderstandings flowing, so I want to make sure like I'm really clear. Go ahead and give me some intelligence checks for Cal, Tuir, and Ina. And while you roll those, for information shared earlier, I'm going to clarify some things. And maybe this will come from Monley as she's like discussing it all with you. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. And Tuir has the option to roll the same check if he wants.
Cal is
So-
not smart.
Yeah. You have cured the Archflight. What is dangerous about the Archflight is that crazy fast spread of it, and just one touch of it, and you're going to be undead. So Duna is going to be undead. In very rare instances, with constant attention from healers in the world, when you are attacked by a Terrai, you need to see a healer like immediately. It's like rabies. um, you have a very small window that you can be saved and be okay. In that period of time, this is what Lonley was explaining. They'll do exactly what you all just did, and getting rid of the Archblight. But then they'll use a Seed Lily salve to help the soul heal itself. Lonley only has one of these, which can prevent somebody from becoming undead for a while longer. So for Tuer, in regards to the theoretical applications of this conversation to the Vice Admiral, the Archblight is something that affects the body and consumes the soul, which is why Heimsdale Doctrine is set the soul free as soon as possible, get it out of the trap, out of the snare. So the Admiral is fine. He is living whatever his afterlife is in the great beyond. If you were to fix his body and put his soul back in it, that is something very viable in terms of this could work. You wouldn't have to even worry about the salve. That was what the swift execution was for, was to stop that rapid aggression of like the soul being essentially devoured. So,
Okay.
all in all of that information summed up, Lonley can save Duna and stall this, but it would be a roll of the dice using your one expensive salve on Duna and basically trying to bank that you can get more in the city. Essentially, her priorities are with the crew and keeping the rest of the crew alive, which the chicken doesn't register high to her. Duna is not infectious anymore. She will become undead. If you find a way to resurrect the Admiral, as long as you deal with the Archblight first, you can try and pursue that path.
Okay, cool.
All of that information is available to all of you, and Lonley will be there, like, explaining it, except for the stuff about the Vice Admiral. Cal and Ina failed that check.
Well, I got a nat 20 on it, so...
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so... After taking a moment to think about it, yes. We can... As long as we cleanse the corpse, which again has been reposed, so any advancement of the Archblight is not going to happen. So as long as we cleanse the corpse first, yes, in theory, yes, it can be. He will be able to be brought back, regardless of whether or not he wants to, and then face whatever justice the military was going to. Or we let his body sink, which I'm personally not a fan of. Then again, I'm not a fan of him either.
Sunrise, I sent you a message, by the way, too.
I understand the need to save resources. If Duna isn't dangerous anymore, I'll enjoy this last time with her. And then I'll take care of her.
At this point, just to make sure that you are aware, she is fine until she dies.
Yeah.
Once she dies, she will become an undead, at which point, in order to make sure everything is kept safe, myself or Kalbahari will have to fill that chicken full of so much radiant energy, there is nothing left to potentially spread infection.
I will take care of her when that happens.
As you wish. And Tuer will pass the chicken back to her.
Ina's gonna just retreat to the chicken room
Okay.
quietly. And before I start murdering people so my Tear-Eye chicken can eat their souls.
They can eat 3rd level magic for a month.
Cal has 3rd level magic. Oh.
All right. Does anybody want to do anything else on the boat before we move to Nortvigar?
Oh.
I want to make sure that Roriku's doing okay. I'll just check in and make sure that he's technically alive.
Yeah.
I was going to look at Tuer and say, do we want to do that on the Vice Admiral's body before we get to Nordvigar?
Better now, sooner than later. And then once that's done, I really need a nap. And now that everything's sort of calmed down, yeah, Tuer is still covered in a bunch of it's bleeding from several places, covered in a couple bruises.
I'm going to say this, if I cast it now, we won't have sending for a night, and also, Cal pats a shoulder on Tuer, you get a cure wounds. Congratulations.
Woo. Oh no! You can't be pen pals to your favorite person, the Admiral. What a horror.
Congratulations, you got 8. 8 HP.
Thanks, I'm still not at half. But it's fine.
Yeah, he cleaned up one of the worser looking wounds.
Alright. Tuer will just grab a hold of the hand that Cal used for cure wounds. Well, let's go! And just throws him off the boat in the direction of the Admiral's corpse.
Hold on. Let me grab my calculator. See how fast you guys are moving.
I do want to state, for calculations, Cal weighs 289 pounds.
At the very least, the giant octopus is moving fast enough to keep up. That was stated at the end of last session.
Yeah.
And besides, we're slowing the boat down enough that we don't run any risks of jostling through the ice.
Yeah.
I can refreeze the ice.
Okay.
Actually, I should probably be doing that.
You're busy being traumatized. Get back to your chicken coop.
Okay. You can jump in the water, aiming for the octopus. Cal, give me a fortune check.
Bear in mind, I have telepathic link with the octopus.
That's our therapy office.
Cal, give me a fortune check. Is my...
Oh yeah, okay, I'll give a fortune check, give me a second.
Okay.
62.
What's your fortune score?
Now it's at 40 because I used 60
Okay.
of it for rerolls.
Cal.
Yep.
As you jump into as you leap off of the boat, and-
Pushed off the boat. Let's be correct.
and you're moving towards the body, you can see that the body is trailing almost black oil behind it and in puffs. It is completely blighted without...
Whoa, what about the effects of gentle repose?
You can still restore the body. I'm just saying, as far as the archblight goes, the disease. This body is blighted and it is spreading. it's not a problem because no one else is in the water with it.
Fuck.
The target. I'm granted. I know it said that the Archblight does go beyond certain things, but yeah. Just post the description of Gentle Repose.
Yeah,
Protected from decay and can't become undead for the duration, which is 10 days.
it's not undead,
Mhm.
and the body is still in good condition, like as far as limbs and everything goes. The Archblight itself, this is what it does. Whatever it was able to get, it is spreading once there's no soul to cling to. In
Okay.
so much that it's only in the immediate area of the body. Cal, as you fall and leap to it, interacting with this body, you are going to make yourself susceptible to the Archblight. Very briefly, you need to be handling this body with very precise medicinal care, and that's not something you can do leaping off a ship, like being hurled through the water at
Can
like 90 feet per second. So
I'm. Yeah.
I will say you are aware of that. And what I'm giving you for the Gentle Repose was Cal failed the fortune check, so I was going to say he was going to jump into blighted water. But for the Gentle Repose, I will restrict it to just touching the body.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Cal, I won't make you roll a check, but if you do touch this and you do contract it, you do know that Lonley has that one salve for you, potentially.
Cal has a stupid idea, and this is going to drain a lot of magic from him. And it's combining 3 spells that he happens to already have prepared.
I would assume one of them is Bless.
No, sadly.
In that case, I will use Bless.
The 3 spells I'm planning on using, is Purify Food and Drink to purify the water around him, around the body, to cleanse it, Lesser Restoration, and the Remove Curse in a succession in order to best contain it and destroy the Archblight as he can.
Okay, bear in mind, Tuer is right behind you. Like he is coming with you.
Yeah, so here's
But
what I'll
it's
do.
the
I'll
same
take
thing.
I really like that idea. I'll take the I'll take the purify food and water all on its own, and rather than using any other spell or being an instant effect, I will have Cal do this as a concentration as you try and keep this bubble of purified water.
Okay.
So to keep concentration on this and then use your other hand to cast this other powerful spell to remove the curse, I think that's kind of hard.
Okay.
I thought that, and I was like, God, I hope no one says that and debates that. I'm not. No, how dare you? Stop. Go away.
Cal is going to give it a shot, and he is going to try.
Okay, I'm just thinking of like how difficult this is and what the DC for it might be.
I will say Purify Food and Drink is a first level spell if it helps.
Well, I would say that this is hard, generally because of the one, you can't work with the surgeon's precision, you're being hurled through the water, but you are a creature of the sea.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to set the DC at 11 for this.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, Tuer has every intention of making the octopus stop moving when we go to do this.
Okay, I'll drop it to 10.
Just because he knows that this is insane, and what we did upstairs required a lot of precision. Not gonna do that while swimming. No.
Yeah. Cal, it's going to be a DC 11. Well, actually, if you stop, that's fine.
Also
won't
have
make you-
advantage because Tuer is helping.
I won't make you roll anything because you can purify the water around you. That's what I was thinking of. Like, you don't. It's not just purifying water. If you guys are moving, you're constantly moving like out of that purified area. So if you just stop moving, that's fine. I'll take both of these spells, and you guys can do a repeat of what you did above.
Okay. Sure. I'll go ahead and use Purify Food and Drink. And
I'll
then
spend my points for Lay
Yeah,
on
then-
Hands.
spend the Remove Curse with the same signal as before.
And I link Lay on Hands.
I will link Purify Food and Drink.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, so Cal used the 2 spell slots to where you're able to use the your Lay on Hands. You'll see like the bile this body is like generating is going to go away. Effectively, you handle like what light is inside of the body, eliminating it and getting rid of it. However, you still have to contend with the fact that, the Admiral has been killed, but presumably maybe his family can do something with this body.
It can still be revivified, it's fine.
Alright. You all can dash and try and catch up with the ship. Someone on deck will throw a rope over the side for you, trailing in the water, and you can climb aboard.
I am down to my last 2 spell slots for the day.
Well, I've only got 1 first level left.
That means I'm
Oh,
doing a good
bless.
job DMing. As you bring the Admiral's body out of the water, I think salt water has kind of like a horrifically cauterizing effect. Or like I think salt water hurts tremendously, but I don't think it's awful for wounds.
I mean, probably, but at the same time, repose.
Yeah. As you bring the Admiral's body out of the water, you can see that he has been slashed, hacked, stabbed, and basically mangled underwater in that horde of monsters that he fought. However, of his lifeless form, you can do what you want with it, and I think before you bring it on ship, Lonley is going to rush over and inspect it to make sure you're not endangering everyone else. And she'll just kind of give you a satisfied nod. And say, man, a lot of these processes would be easier if you could just do them right off the ship.
Yeah. Again, I had no idea any of that would work. It hurts to laugh.
Alright. Get some rest. The crew that didn't fight will take over sailing and get you all into port tonight. It is the late evening of the 7th. While you expected to be here at sundown, and excuse my sundown pictures, you are going to get here in the middle of the evening, pulling into the harbor of Nortvigar. This is a much smaller port than Wetchard's Fist. A lot of ships only dart in and out of here. Many of them choosing to stay out in the deep ocean of the harbor. You can throw your anchor rather than... Well, actually, you guys need dock space. And I think your crew of NPCs would try and get the ship as close into the docks as possible, because your ship is not going to float all night unless Nina wants to forego all of her rest. So yeah, they'll bring the ship into port, and let's see. Fortunately, there is space open. There are 3 spots in the docks open for you all. You can take one at the end of a pier, tying up your ship, and Old Man Chalky will get to work for the night, just making sure the holes are patched and you're able to be buoyant. Standing at the edge of the pier, is anybody awake or looking out of your port window right now?
Quick question. How long did you say it took to get here?
4 hours.
Cool. I am good. Yeah, Tuair will just be coming back up on deck. Fully rested.
Okay. If you look at the dock, there's a half elf in a robe and a ledger. He seems to be waiting for someone to come off the ship as your gangplank, rope ladder. I don't know. Is your ship's being tied up and your walkway's being established. Whew. I think Feivu will head down on behalf of the crew. Tuair is welcome to join them.
And Tuair will just stay at the top, but keep his ear open.
Okay. You hear them discuss docking fees for the harbor, and she is going to negotiate back and forth before she climbs back aboard ship.
So how much are they bleeding us?
He says the docks are only for people taking the council's chips. 17 gold, and he'll keep us off their ledgers.
How about we fetch the captain's, Vice Admiral's bodyguard and see if they can do anything about that. After all, it is their port.
She said, I'm just gonna give him one of those damn bombs.
Please don't. Last thing we need is to be made terrorists right on their front door.
He said he'd take it.
Yeah. Again, would rather not. As funny as him wanting to die as it may be, I doubt it. I'll go get the captain. See if I'll go. What was the captain's name again?
Nefria.
No, not
Kyron?
Nefria. Kyron. I'll go get Kyron. See if she can sort that out.
He knows who I am.
Yeah, who could forget about the half pint?
Ifria's the only captain in my heart.
I'll go fetch
Aw.
Kyron.
Yeah, you can find her below deck. Her and her men are in front of the kitchen. I would say a few of them are playing cards as they've been relieved of duty. She's probably just like leaning against one of the beams, the back of the boat, watching them. She stands at attention as you step up.
I assume that they've already been informed about the Admiral's corpse. Vice Admiral's corpse. Well, we've landed, but they're trying to charge us a fee. Well, it is your port. Reckon you can help us out with that?
She'll nod. Go above decks, following you. And say, as far as I know, the Queen annexed this port for the relocation council. Everybody from the Darkwater event is being sent here and finding a way back home. As she steps above decks and walks down the walkway to the pier.
I mean, if it's unavoidable, then fair enough. But you're the one with the paperwork for this assignment.
The half-elf is going to straighten up in his robe, and she's going to say, "We're here on business on behalf of the Vice Admiral, transporting what's left of a prisoner. The price is steep for these docks. Is there anything for the military or for the Navy?" The half-elf is going to curse and swear a little bit under his breath. I'll put you on the ledger and I'll let the portmaster deal with it in the morning. No price. She'll nod and say thank you. He smiles, a thin expression, and a glare at Two Ears. The glare that communicates, "I wanted my damn bomb."
To where is just gonna chuckle, look over to Bebu. Nothing like pissing off officials, and then we'll just go make his way below deck.
All right. Chalky is unfortunately going to have to work through the night to keep your boat buoyant. He can't fix it all tonight, but he can make it at least float. You have a place in the pier. Does anybody want to do anything before the end of the night?
I'm going to go to Chalky and kind of bluntly say, the entire crew is your disposal. Whoever you need and whatever you need to get this boat back, the captain's curse back to its glory, is yours.
He's gonna shake his head and say, "Nah, this just patching some wood. That little moon singer of yours did a good job with all this ice. Makes my job easy, but gives me purpose being down here."
The Freya looks at Ina, or off to Ina's direction, and smiles. She's amazing.
Chalky is going to gesture at all of the supplies down here. He's gonna say, a lot of this might not be good, but at least no food was stored down here.
You know what? Can Cal do something to try and help Chucky, at least for... How long does this last? An hour. An hour of his work to make it 1 hour to make it a little easier?
Yeah, 6 of your hours of long rest have to be spent resting, but 2 of them can be of just like menial tasks, like handing him hammers when he asks for it, or
It's like time for
just
dinner,
holding
getting himself to
down,
bed, waking
like,
up, breakfast.
plank
Yeah.
or two.
Stop The flashlight. Stop moving the flashlight. Right
Yeah.
there.
No, instead of a flashlight, he was actually going to use Eyes of Night on him.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean-
go for it.
Duez just finished a long rest, so he'll just chill and help out.
In the dreary state, how long does this last? It lasts 1 hour, yeah. So 1 hour, Chucky gets Cal's night vision. Which is 300 feet.
All right.
Something I would like to do as well.
What would you like to do?
I will be taking Duna to the top of the ship and showing her the stars.
Okay.
Just gonna lift her to the heavens and point her little eyes up to the stars.
I'm on top of the world.
All right. So otherwise for tonight, for Ina, as you take Duna up, and I will say, the storm has passed by the time you get to Nortvigar. And let's see. Yeah, that's appropriate. You hold her up to the stars, and her belabored breathing is hitting those like final huffs for the last few hours, and then Duna is going to stop breathing, and she kind of shakes her head in like that bird-like way, moving side to side, and yeah, the husk of your chicken carries on.
Don't call her that.
Well, I don't know what else to say.
She's just my chicken.
Okay. Your chicken carries on.
She's fine. She's not
Rainbow Highway.
Yeah, Duna has become undead.
Okay, I need to go downstairs for a little while, guys. I try to show her a pretty sight. She turns into a zombie.
She was going to die tonight.
Yeah.
So-
I didn't think she'd die that quickly. Jesus.
I thought we got a little more time. Okay.
You know what? That's fair.
No, it's okay.
I'll say that that's going to happen at the end of Ina's time with her,
Okay.
whatever that looks like tonight. But that, like, you can watch the stars with her for hours on end, but that would be her last couple moments.
I'm gonna take her back down to her family.
Okay.
And then I'm going to kill her.
Oh, you're gonna kill her before she turns?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you to describe that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like a very sad goodbye with all of her chicken family, and then I'm gonna go find Cal.
Sorry, we didn't hear that. Find who?
I'm gonna find Cal
Okay.
to kill and radiant my chicken, and then I'm going to burn her in a warrior's pyre, or as close as I can get with the chicken and some scrap wood.
Viking
Real
funeral.
barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Okay, I'll help. I do have all my spell slots back, correct?
Yeah, I'm not gonna roleplay the whole thing because I'm about to cry.
That's fair.
No, you do not, Cal. You haven't
Okay.
finished your long rest yet. But yeah, you guys can give Duna a graceful end, sending her to the beyond before her soul completely fades. Somewhere out there on the bridge, Duna's fighting the good fight. In the gatekeeper's embrace.
I don't know why I had a stupid idea. Since I have control flames, as the flames are burning the chicken, just animate it to show Aduna flying up into the air.
I mean, if you need a source of radiant, Tuera's had a long rest. He's got all of his radiant back.
A phoenix rising to the sky.
Duna, The phoenix of the captain's curse. So we've lost our first crew member, technically. And I guess
We got
they're...
the fullest ending.
Yeah, I
We
guess
lost our second crew member.
there would
The
be...
first one just retired.
Yeah, to the... Well, I'm saying you lost your first to the sea. And I guess there would also be, like, this reverence on deck around Duna. Like, this was a fun adventure out into the southern seas. And, the seas are unforgiving. Especially the southern straits.
You know what? For shits and giggles, headcanon, this is what the phoenix that whoever did the anime flame looks like. Because I feel like Insomni would recognize it.
I can't
Ooh.
look. I took my glasses off to cry.
You've played Okami?
Oh, that's a beautiful chicken.
I can only make it a vague form, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I can show that on stream. I don't know if it's copyrighted or not.
Yeah, it's
But,
copyrighted.
I think out of all of the people here in attendance, I think Lynn would choose to speak up. And just like this chicken in the brazier, scrap wood burning, hands in his pocket, everybody kind of silently watching this. He's gonna say, somebody's gotta say something. Shit. I lost people on the seas before. I lost people when I wasn't around. I know Duna wasn't people, but she's people to all of us. Families, the ones that you sail with, the ones that you find out here, and I'm glad that we could be with her for at least a little bit in the straits. I think for whatever the future holds for all of us, I'm glad and hope that I can ride it out with you all like Duna. Damn good chicken. Galana's gonna say, what makes a good chicken?
She was
Tuara is immediately just gonna slap a hand over her mouth and just shake his head.
Galana's going to nod and say, damn good chicken, like through your hand. Alright. Otherwise, and I won't count this, away from all of your rest. You can spend the evening bonding with one another, talking, chatting. That's okay. And getting ready for whatever tomorrow holds for all of you. That said, we'll go through the end of the night, and it is the 8th of Servant. The sailors are all going to gather up their things. They'll get a coffin in town for the Admiral's body, and Kyron will tell you, I'm going to get passage back on a Heimsdale ship, and we'll continue our mission of taking him back to Swordhaven. Even if he doesn't stand trial, at least he can be buried on his family grounds.
We wish you the safest of travel, and apologize to the Admiral that we couldn't have kept our promise of transferring him.
She'll shake her head and say, no. Nobody could predict an Archblight attack like that. I'm just glad we were able to sail together. I could have been lost out in those waters. Your crew is got quite a few Mari with you. They're respectable ones. tough shits in the water. Tell you that much. Kyron and her people will load the Admiral's body. And one of the soldiers will like just walk up to Ina and say, I heard the ceremony last night. Here. And he'll give Ina a urn, like the size of like a large mug. I'm sorry. And if Ina starts crying, he'll put the urn in her hands and just say, I'm sorry, and shuffle away. And otherwise, I'm sorry. It's just an emotional story. You lost a chicken. Otherwise, you all are free to wander Nortvigar or gather yourselves. Or would you all like to take like 3 or 4 minutes? Grab some water and reconvene in a minute?
DM, I just wanted you to know that there is a thing going on in chat right now saying, go hug your fucking wife.
I will in a minute.
That pain in the ass is me, but regardless.
Yeah, let's take like 2 minutes for people to like grab water or so. And we'll come back and tackle the second half of the session.
Cue commercial music.
This stream was sponsored by Rage. No.
If I ever take a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, you all can chew out my morals and my ethics. And it's not that I don't want to be sponsored, it's that I have openly criticized how shitty Raid is as a game.
This stream is sponsored by ExpressVPN. If you also don't want to get infected with Archblay while you're browsing through websites, get ExpressVPN.
You know, there are a lot of viruses out there.
And you can't have your own personal paladin and cleric combo to solve them for you.
Rather than dying, download ExpressVPN today.
The problem is that we could actually make a convincing VPN ad. So bad. But yeah, I'm very much happy that Emmy decided to let that work.
That might be me for the session, to be honest. Hi, I get disproportionately attached to fictional things.
I mean, it is really good roleplay.
And she's my favorite.
Yeah. Honestly, rip the chickens. Like after all is said and done, we can probably look back on this and just go, it was ridiculous, but we had a good time doing it.
I have to pick a new favorite chicken from the remaining 5.
Why was that one have to be your favorite?
Because that's the one I always hand to people. I bring my favorite.
Yeah. Well,
If I bring the other ones, they're probably gonna try and bite people.
Well, maybe they're like that because they're feeling neglected, because you always have your favorite.
I sleep with all of them.
Oh yeah, speaking of, yeah, probably for the next few days, to where we'll just be we'll be delivering meals to the chicken room.
So wait,
And I will
oh,
continue to not look you in the eye.
I
I
was-
thought
Don't
this
have
was a hot dog for a sec. I was confused why you just brought me a raw hot dog as a snack.
wait, are we still having a session or no?
Oh
we
yeah,
are. We
Yeah,
took
we're
a
about to,
minute break, so I'd stop crying.
We're about to
Okay.
reconvene.
Okay, I was confused because when you left to start crying, I left to help a crying dog.
Ah, my eyes
Nah,
are blurring, but otherwise I'm okay.
Um,
no, it was just a mid-session break for, like bio break and all that, and
okay, no, that's fine.
therapy
That's-
cuddles.
You know what? That's
Eric
fair.
and Ramon, let me know when you're back, and then we'll get started.
I'm back.
Oh, I'm back.
Cool.
You're making the
cool.
assumption that they left.
Well, I did, so I don't know who.
I went to
did.
get a kiwi.
Hey, hey!
The bird or the fruit?
Yes.
The fruit.
All right. You are in the town of Nordvigar. It'll take, I guess, as you all get up. Roriku will be making food for everyone. Chalky has worked through the night to get the boat stabilized.
With Tua's help.
Yeah. His patch job is not going to, the boat's not going to be able to go underwater, currently in its condition. And it is going to take him at least 2 days to get the ship, completely to 100%, and get that seal back. Right? That said, it is sailable. You can go anywhere that isn't underwater, if you so desire. Also, me now as Jordan, controlling Roriku. I'm pretty sure you all are out of food, and I think you'd have to do another supply run into town. I don't think he was subtracting it as he was making meals, so I am going to I'm gonna say that probably you guys haven't bought food since like your second session. So that said, you have a couple of things you need to do in Nordvigar, just supplies for Chalky and supplies for Roriku. And I can handle your ship's inventory if you so desire. Otherwise, looking out up the pier, Nordvigar is built where two mountains of Leetris kind of form a valley. One mountain that is off to the west that splits Nordvigar from the rest of the lands of the island that are for Esperina and Wetchert's Fist. And one mountain off to the east, or the southeast, which is where the island gets its name from, with the settlement of Leetris on the top of it. Looking out, those two mountains kind of make this valley that this small town is built into, and a nice little sheltered cove for a port. Looking around, and I'm just giving this all information to you freely. Some of the island and trees and vegetation have reclaimed a lot of like this mountain and hillside. You can see that this town almost looks like ruins, along with like a settlement built into the middle of like some of like the restored ruins. And it is still kind of like that Spanish seaside town of stone fronts and slated windows, or slated roofs. The other thing of note, I'm gonna give this to Nefria and Cal Bahari. As you look out over the bay, following the trail of structures and ruins down like the hillside into the bay, you can see there are more broken ones that go underneath the water. You are aware there are a settlement of Marai here, and Cal and Nefria looking into the water, and just like staring ever so often, you can see a figure that doesn't like jump and swim away in that skittery way that fish do, but kind of like this fluid movement of like intention in and out of these ruins. Of you are aware there are humanoids below the bay. That said, I think if I was assigning things to give you all stuff to do, your two most important things would be a supply run and making sure that the dockmaster wouldn't label you all as pirates. Does anyone have anything they want to do or want to volunteer for any of those tasks?
We aren't pirates, not at
Wait,
all.
the Dockmaster thing should have already been sorted because of the paperwork dealt with Captain Kyron.
Yeah, he said he put you on the ledgers for the night and let the dockmaster sort it out in the morning.
Right, so...
He was extorting you all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would love to go chat with the dock master.
Okay.
I'll go with the supply run.
I'll follow for chatting with the Dockmaster. Just
Chatting.
chatting.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, chatting.
I'm
Yeah.
going to use my cantrips to go help Chucky.
Okay. All right. E, do you want Cal to do anything specific?
Hold on. A small part of him is caught attention by the mayor under the port. I don't know what he would do besides investigate that, or maybe do a supply run.
You can dive in if you want. Go talk to them and see what they're doing, or you can talk to the people in town. Captain Kyron told you they're not very friendly.
Cal is used to not very friendly people. He will try to investigate. Might we go better with him because he's a Marai versus a surface dweller?
Fair
You mean-
enough.
Do me a favor and ask them if they know about that wave of blight that we ran into.
Okay, I'll see that. I'll see what I can do. Quick question: I was able to get a full rest, or no?
You were able to get a full rest last night. Yes, I did
Okay.
not interrupt people's long rests.
I wanted to make sure before I got my spell slots back, and all my other features back.
All right. As everybody is dividing up and heading to different places, Cal,
Yes.
let me actually look at one thing before I make you make a decision. As Tuer and Nefria head off to the Port Authority, and Enrique heads off to get supplies. Ina's gonna go below deck. Oh, and I guess this would also apply to Enrique too. So, Cal,
Yeah.
Len, Meek, and Galana are going to approach you. And Galana will, or Lynn will say, we're not going to be losing anyone. Everybody sticks together. She and I can hold our breaths for a long time. If you find a cave under there, signal Meek. Just let her know and we can dive down and venture with you. Any place to breathe. Meek is going to conjure a mage hand and put it on your shoulder, and say it won't last for you getting very far, but if you just tap it when before it fades, if you find some place that they can breathe at, then I'll let them know.
That or I'll send a sending. I have that prepared. Along with swapping out a spell that will hopefully make things easier.
Okay. At that, as Enrique is going, Fevu is going to head with Enrique. And if I'm reading your ship inventory right, you guys have spent all of your cruise money. So I think
I'm pretty certain that Ina has been holding on to all of our money this entire time.
That's because it's literally mine.
yeah,
She's the bank. She's
I
bank.
have been bankrolling this with random stuff I brought up from the bottom of the ocean when I ascended.
Also, we should be getting some amount of pay for delivering the Vice Admiral's escort thus far.
Yeah, I will handle that for you all. But I think for Fevu, she's gonna have like two of Golden Wind's bombs and say, these things gotta sell for something.
I will give the supply group 30 gold.
Yay.
That's pretty much the last of what I got, guys.
Hey, gotta make
I
this.
think the only gold opportunity to sell anything that I've had was the painting that I'm very proud of in my bedroom. I haven't had a chance to steal anything or make any money.
Yeah, that's completely fair. And I have taken that into account for you guys. Okay, so I think I'll handle Tuer, Nefria, Cal, and then Enrique, and I will come back to Ina if I think of something relevant. I didn't think Chaki's gonna have.
Kind of emotionally tied.
Yeah, and this is just like the further you get away from the ship. So I think Enrique's going the furthest, Tuer and Nefria are going to the end of the docks, and Cal's searching underwater rooms. So Tuer, Nefria, you can go to the Port Authority, and that half-elf will be off of... Or, no, he's not off of his ship yet. He is going to be sleeping in a corner, ledger on his lap. There is going to be another man standing underneath some nets and counting barrels, and generally this area is kind of like open, and there is a counter in the middle here with a jar and a stack of books on it. As he sees you all come in, does he recognize you? He does not. He'll stop his count for a second and say, "Sees greetings to you."
Quick question. Does Nefria have any of the any paperwork regarding the escort, or was it only the captain?
No, I don't have any.
Surely we have a copy.
It was a verbal handshake.
Yeah, I would say you all had a Heimsdale sail on your ship. The captain there that they communicated enough that you were working with them, but yeah, there wasn't really like any ledgers or things exchanged with like the crew.
These greetings.
He's gonna say Nia's near. I'm running these ports right now.
Well, these. I'm not going to say that we don't want to be here, but we came here because we were under order by the military. The Navy sent us here. We don't
You're
want
with
to pay
the
anything.
Admiral's prison transport.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's completely unnecessary for us to pay.
He's going to wave a hand and say, docking fees waived for you all, at least for a day or two. I'll tell you what, you want to take some chits, I'll start paying you all.
What type
Elaborate.
of chits are you looking for?
He's going to say, Immigration Council, or the Relocation Council is for those who don't want to stay in Heimsdale, offering them one free ride wherever they want to go, paid for the Queen, or from the Queen's vaults themselves. The more of these chits I can collect from them, get them rides out of this or off our island, the more gold that's going to be coming into this port for me. If I can pack your ship with 15 or so passengers and you feed and care for them, get them to the next port, by the bridge, I could care less.
We're not so much in that type of transport. I'd have to talk it over with my crew. But what type of money are we talking about?
25 gold a chit.
Well, I'll be able to discuss it over with my crew.
Okay, and just can you please translate to player?
Yeah, he has offered if you all take the dislocated people from the city and take them to wherever they're going, he will pay you a portion of what the Queen is paying him to get these people back to their homes. A Darkwater event has dislocated lots of people all over the world. For a brief period, waters were portals about a month or 2 months ago. And touching water, you would land in random places in Ilderon. So people from all different nations of all different statuses have been displaced. The rich can pay for their own way back. However, a lot of like peasants and farmers and things like that from like Morzia and Northhold and things that were just in their bathtub have ended up all over the place. Heimsdale's one of the few nations that's actively trying to get people back where it's going, or where they belong, and the Relocation Council has been established where all of those people are being sent to Leetris. This is essentially now Heimsdale's like Ellis Island, and Leetris is sending them out to where they're supposed to be going.
And can you please define a chit for us?
Yeah.
Small piece of wood.
Yeah, I would say these people have been essentially been given a travel voucher. If you take their travel vouchers, you can turn in their travel vouchers for gold.
Okay, and that is like per person 25 gold.
Yes.
Mini cruise line.
To be fair, we are desperately non-existent in terms of funds.
Mhm.
And we are going to... Sorry, that's an in-character discussion for later.
Exactly. That was my thought.
Well, Captain, it does appear that there will be discussions to be had later on. How long did you say we're good to stay in port? We will need to be making repairs after a incident with certain adversaries.
He's gonna say, by the bridge, that's the sea stern. 2 days. On me. I've had some good drinking friends surf on that ship.
That will be fine.
Yeah,
If it takes any longer, let us know. We'll let you know. But in the meantime, while in town, who's in charge?
He's going to bite his lip for a second and say, honestly, I probably got the most authority up here. But Jamikra's family has good in with the governor. Their estate at the top of the hill, can't miss it. Almost our appointed magistrate. Here in Leetris, we've never really had on the mainland, like, governors, mayors, things like that. Ariat pretty much lets people do as they will, and that freedom's appreciated. This extra control the Queen's putting on, he shakes his head, says, as long as she's paying gold and that's coming in, I'm fine with it. But as soon as these chips stop flowing, he brushes his hand.
Here, I'm going to entrust some information to you with the full report, and I will have my navigator reach out to you with a full report within the next few days of activities in your nearby seas.
He's gonna nod and say, there's a barracks on the west side of town, and he'll point at it on the hillside. And it's decently close to the docks. For the Heimsdale Navy. They've got one ship, or they've got 2 ships that patrol these waters out most of the day. Only come back every now and then. They've got a couple guards stationed in town. Most people have been going to Axer for any of the judicial matters and issues with the council. Oh, final bit and final little note. If you don't come around Nortvigar much, I suggest staying out of the water. These South Sea Marai ain't too friendly.
So we've heard. What? Any particular reason, or is it just normal hating, military and, land people trying to enter their domain?
Let's see. He'll roll a history check. I'll say, by the bridge if I know.
Fair.
They don't kill, but they rough up some people who go exploring those ruins and throw them back on shore. Never had the mind much to go down there and try and talk to them. They don't mess with our markets. We don't mess with theirs.
Hmm. Speaking of markets, you happen to ever know where the best place to get just general supplies would be? Preferably not looking to get ripped off. And as he says that, there is a quick sideways glance towards the half elf.
Oh, the sleepy one in the corner?
There's a quick glance over to him, and then just back
He'll
to him.
insight that. Just, what's that mean? And he'll, Talk got you for a few coins?
Tried to. Unfortunately, we let him know we're on military business.
He's, gonna, kind of shoulder you a little bit and say, Doc talks good people. He sees outsiders, though, and he rouses them just a little bit.
I'm going to shoulder him back and say that he tried to shoulder us with 50 gold.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say, you already rolled this deception check, so he's gonna say, well, your brain ain't bleeding out your ears, is it? You ain't done enough to pay that, right?
God, no.
Well, I'm just going to say that that little punk should get a little bit of some medicine. And if it ain't coming from you, grumble, 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 grumble.
Alright, calm down.
Wait. Captain?
I am Captain Nefria of the Captain's Curse.
Out drunk the last captain, so won the ship when he retired.
It's worth noting he's been referring to this ship as the Sea Stern.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say, wait, Lonel's not on that ship? Is the bastard dead? He owes me like 200 gold.
He's fine, he's retired.
Bastard's hiding from paying his debts.
Last we saw him was gives the exact location and name of tavern.
And his social security number.
we have a social security boat.
And he's gonna say, well, I guess you're all carrying on his legacy, mooching on people's goodwill.
Yep.
Nod my head.
Shrug.
Thank you for your kindness.
Not there.
He's going to say, best place to get supplies, dry docks up the hill eastward, and he'll point it out, and you can see the area, and he'll say, however, the shipwrights have been overrun with all these people coming in and settling. Good luck on getting what you can grab. There might be a Ruby Alliance merchant or two hanging out up in the center of town around Jamira Cray's manor. The network's always been able to get stuff in and out of the port.
Because who doesn't love the Ruby Alliance?
He's you know what? He'll share a little bit of gossip and lean in and say, hey, between you and me, they pay good coin to get stuff in and out of this port. Not nearly enough of what I think's worth, but if you ever try and renegotiate prices, they send their little enforcer after you, and people you like start disappearing. But I heard from a little birdie over in Wetchard's Fist, he Loyal bit it out in the seas. Damn assassin got killed by somebody.
Oh yeah, we actually came across his the
His
ship he was being
remains.
transported on, and yeah, no, ain't no magic gonna be bringing that bastard back.
I'm not gonna make you roll a deception check for that, but he'll say it'll only be a matter of days before they import a new blade in here. But for now, we're running the port how we want, and that means Ruby Alliance has to pay a little extra bit of fees for what they've been getting away with for the past couple years. They're not happy about it, but he's gonna shrug and say, I keep a place open on the docks for them.
Lovely.
All right. Do you guys want to do
Oh,
anything else?
doesn't
before we
affect
jump to
us.
Cal?
Jump ahead.
All right, Cal.
Hello. I'm still surprised that I have the mage hand on my shoulder. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. GM layer. Map layer. Boom. And let's get some. Do we have some underwater stuff? This will do. Cal, you can dive down below the waves and start searching these runes. They cascade off and down the hill. As you are swimming through them, how about you give me 3 checks? Give me 1 history for information about this area. And in this history, I'll allow you to add your wisdom to it, because it's going to be, as you are seeing these runes, they're almost telling a story to you.
Okay, so it's a d20 plus 3 because I have a plus 3 to wisdom.
Yeah, plus your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in history.
I am not proficient in history.
Okay, yeah, just give me a wisdom check then. And then I'm going to ask for another perception check. This one is scoping out places where your crewmates might be able to come and support you.
Okay, I do not have advantage. I'm just past perception of 18. I'm not proficient with perception, so let's see how that goes.
Okay. So yeah, give me one more wisdom check. And then there was a third. So the runes, locations for the people, and I guess give me 1 investigation check, trying to look around and find these Mirai. And that should be everything I need for a couple minutes.
And how much is it for misfortune to try and give myself advantage?
It's the same value.
Yeah, you would take 30 misfortune added to your sheet, and you could gain advantage on any one of those checks. That said, one of them looked bad.
Can I get 30 misfortune for my investigation? And
yeah,
then,
go for it. You roll it with advantage.
And then I want, so 31, and then I will use, I'll keep my 40 fortune. I've spent so much fortune today.
Okay.
Keep the low perception. I will say passive is 18. Cal is not perception with actively looking. He is very observant of what's going on around him.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let's go with the active investigation, because, oof, 10.
Okay. So Cal, as you are going down below the sea and investigating these different runes, and if you scroll down to the bottom of this map page I put you on, I put a little inspiration image on kind of like the stuff you're seeing. Cal, you are seeing essentially what seems to be like some sort of aftermath of like a cataclysmic event. None of these structures look like they were ever built in the water. It seems like they have crashed down here. They're all put at different areas. Some of the ground that they're on is faulted and decayed away, or not decayed away, but kind of like that way that like sea erodes things. That this isn't like natural sea floor here, but it's been down here for so long that the sea's kind of reclaimed some of it. A lot of these are Kayan in nature. You don't know much about the Kayak Empire. You do know the Gaiori have been studying things like this. They have a fortress in the sky that you've just heard about that you guys were planning on raiding, and ways to access it were through underwater runes and things. So poking around here, you see just a lot of what I think her name was Neonelia was telling you. Finally, moving past the runes closest to the bay, you're going to see vast swaths of coral have reclaimed part of this shelf, and you are going to feel a I would say you would feel a current that there's some natural aquifer under here pumping water, which means that air and water are constantly kind of moving. Somewhere in this coral reef there probably is a cave system. With your 8, you're not able to locate it, but following the coral reef, you can see through some of these brightly colored reefs, and you will see these runes have been overgrown, and beneath them are where you have been seeing these humanoids move in and out of. I'm going to move that to the map layer. And some of these runes have been cleaned up. And let's see how lucky, yeah, Cal is. Cal, you are going to see a set of Marai children playing in the coral, chasing fish that are running and hiding in between the different dangerous and poisonous sponges and spines. They're not touching them, but they see you as you are under here, and as they do, they are going to stare almost with bewilderment of like, because you're like this sea serpent type of Marai, and they've never seen this before. And somebody is going to swim out from these runes, hands on the 2 shoulders of the kids, and push them back. She looks at you, and she'll roll a history check. And you speak Primordial, correct?
You know my languages.
Okay. Yes, you do. In a Marai tongue, she is going to say, that one is Yon. They're going to nod and follow the woman back inside of this structure.
Does Cal know what Yon means?
Yes, Cal. Yon is one without. It is a insult in Mirai tongue. Um, in terms of Mirai culture, Mirai are all gender fluid, the entire culture, and there is a lot of pride in what role you're occupying and which way you're expressing it in terms of the responsibility you have and the responsibility you give to others. Um, Yon is one with no responsibility. Um, in the same way that and I hate using this term as a queer person, so I'm trying to find a better way to phrase it. But in the same way somebody might make fun of like your pronouns, like insulting your either masculinity or your femininity, um, this is kind of an insult at a lack of anything. You have no responsibility. Um,
Part is going to go from the oh, you it's playing, you know, the protect like the what he was used to a surface and just sing like a rock as soon as he's called you out.
That's fair.
I forgot what it's like to try more cultures. He'll move cautiously throughout the water, kinda taking glances around to see if he can't find someone willing to interact with him, but not approach in basically his mannerisms and body language is screaming is saying lost for over aggression.
Okay. Um, you can go ahead and roll me a charisma check to just kind of communicate that a little bit better. I think you're not very far from the boat, exploring and weaving between these boats, or not boats, but runes. But I think you would be far enough that mage hand is going to disappear.
Mage hand is only 30 feet.
Yeah. And I'll say
It's less to disappear, more just can't move any further.
yeah, I'll say for Meek, she is like just trying hard to just keep this thing concentrated. So you are out of her range. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll her concentration checks, and I will let you know when the mage hand fades. But that's when you'll truly be alone down here. Her first one, even though you have descended to these depths, you following this coral reef shelf out into some of the more open sides of the bay. The mage hand is still there with you.
That is my charisma check. I did not have advantage.
Okay.
It is an 18.
Let's see. That's Guaroto. Alright. Yeah, Cal, if you just continue to roam around here like a lost puppy dog, eventually two Mirai are going to come out from the top of the structure as you're inspecting it. One will speak up and say, Yon, what do you want with us?
Cal is going to hesitate and say, in Primordial, I heard of more of my kind here, and I wished to see and learn more Is that such a wrong thing to do?
Can you speak up a little bit? I heard most of that. You heard about your kind?
I heard that there would be more of my kind here, or potential. I wished to come here to see if I can't learn more about myself. Is it so wrong to do so?
She's going to say, "You don't come from the depths, and from the seas, and from the currents. You come from the runes and the shore. You're Yon, you're forsaken the old ways. We carry them."
I am no Yon, I am a hunter.
"Does your prey have feet on the land?"
My prey went to land. I followed it and I made it run.
"Then you're a bad hunter. If it's got from the depths."
Perhaps, but what do you expect from a 2-year-old hunter?
She'll roll a intelligence check on that, and nat 20 it. And oh gosh, now I need to go find well, no, she'll use the primordial word for forgotten. Say, "You were blessed by Forgotten's fire."
Umiya's and Forgotten's, as he shows both signals.
She's going to speak up finally and say, "If you want to learn, if you want to be amongst us, you can walk our markets, you can talk to our merchants, and I will let Orden know of your presence. You are not welcomed as one of us. You have forsaken the old ways, and as such, you must return to the land that you have embraced."
I was sent here to the surface for more than one reason. My reasons, but I am willing to at least prove I am no threat. I am no Yon. I have my reasons.
All right. She will direct you inside the structure, and there is as you walk in through the base, there is almost like this waterfall effect. As you swim through, you are standing in a area of breathable air and free of the waters and currents. Looking up at some of the floors above you, some of these floors are flooded and there are fish swimming through in and out. Cal, Meek's mage hand is fading. You can tap it if you desire, but it is about to go away. She's failed her next check.
As a response to that, Cal will send a sending to Meek saying, do not follow me. They do not want outsiders. I am okay.
Alright. The mage hand fades away. Meek will respond with, "Shit, I don't know this spell." Can't help you if you need it, but Len and Galana look uneasy. Oh well, good luck. Weirdly, I didn't give her sending or message. Yeah, she has
That's
vicious mockery. and a bunch of things to insult people.
Well, to be fair, a message would require being able to see someone to point at them.
Ah, fair. But regardless, you are led in. Cal, down here is a vibrant Mirai community. Very wildly, and is this what I want? No, that's not what I want. That's 2. I'm so sorry. Let's go with, I want something magical and spooky at the same time, but I don't think I have one, so I'll just go with this. As you are walking, there are different markets set up, different nets being woven, different Mirai art down here being created. Curiously, though, Cal, you see several of those crystals that Neonelia had, that the Gaiori are using, that they've been using to reactivate these old Kayan runes. They're down here and they are lit up. However, the Mirai have smashed them. They are broken, they're shattered on the floor. There's like glowing energy inside them, but they are not connected. Each one you pass, each one of these pylons are have been sufficiently destroyed. That said, if you want to talk to any merchants or any other Mirai down here, you can. The lady that you were talking to, I don't think she ever gave you her name.
And I never give her mine.
Yeah. She'll leave you down here and say, I will let Orn know of your presence.
I appreciate. May I ask your name? Or what I can refer to you as?
Nahil?
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Nahil?
But no, I think she'll just say Yane. Which you would know is a Mirai pronoun for one with responsibility. And she will depart.
The name's Cal, by the way. As she departs.
Some of us have manners.
Of course you have masculine pronouns.
Yeah, some of the other Mirai around you are going to see that she has dropped you off here, and they're going to walk up and say, "You're Yon? What Yandar have you forsaken?"
My Yandar has been broken and scattered. I have not forsaken any. I do not know their fates. I just know that that I still have a task yet to be fulfilled.
He's going to say, "And you seek home here?"
I seek to understand what I have, so I might be able to allow others to help me. It is a foe I cannot face alone.
Orin carries the old ways.
I wish to
I'll
learn.
nod and say, you might find an ally in Egan. Which you would understand, that is a Mirai pronoun for essentially the one who gives responsibility. I would say some of these Mirai are fascinated with you, Cal. So you are a bit of like a little hot sensation in the markets. And every time somebody finishes a conversation where like one person might walk away, like another one or two people might walk up to you. I'd say there's probably not a moment where you're not surrounded by like at least 5 people. If you want to do any exploring or anything, you'd have to like push away from them. Otherwise, there's kind of that outsider.
He'll try to make some progress to take a look around the city, but I will say, for Cal's sake, I'm going to... Can I use prestidigitation to kind of, if he notices a kid eyeing them, kind of use prestidigitation to kind of make them laugh or review him or make himself seem less scary?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a charisma check.
Can I use my wisdom for that? Because prestidigitation, because it's my casting modifier. Can I roll with wisdom for performance? Because I'm using...
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Okay. 14.
Performance is a skill. It's been forever since I've asked somebody to make a performance check. I forgot that existed in 5e until just, you know. Yeah, that's pretty decent. There's like a lot of trepidation around Cal, but you know, there is that sense of the curiosity a lot of Mirai have drawing people to you. And there's initially like fear and timidness, and then, you know, as Cal's being silly and goofy and playing with some of the kids, a lot of that's going to ease up until after, I would say, maybe 15 minutes of this, from above a stream of like, I would say not quite white water, but like water comes down and there's this radiant essence to it that almost feels like this water is reflecting the moon, even though there's no moon out right now. Just like that pale sense that you see when you look up through that water. It is going to zigzag down in front of you and form a jet stream. It awaits you, Cal, to take you to the higher reaches.
He'll wave goodbye and go into the stream.
All right. In a opulent chamber above, and this is a area, once again, where you get, where you're moved through the ocean and then out into open space. And I think it has been... How long has Cal been on the surface? Just a month?
About
2 years? Oh, okay.
So let me double check his age. He has been on the he has existed for 4 years. My bad. He has been on the surface for about 6 months.
Okay, 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would say it's been a while since you've seen one of these. As you enter this chamber, there is a pond in the middle here, almost like...
Oh wait, sorry. Is it 6 months? It was shortly before. It was during the dark water event. Is when he went to the surface.
Okay, yeah, so about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So, or yeah, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, actually. So, anyways, as you step into this chamber, in this pond of this separated water, there is stone placed at the bottom of it, and looking into it, you swear you can see the full reflection of the moon. And looking up in this chamber, you just see like the golden arches and upper domes of the chamber. Standing in the middle here, there is a moon singer. There are many flowing lengths of what is presumably her skin and like strands of like almost like the seaweed essence. As she sees you, she shifts forms, taking that of something similar to a regular Marai, with hair and flesh. And, I'm sorry, but I do have to roll a does she put clothes on check. This form she crafts, she will wear clothes. Or she'll wear scales for them.
Tastefully placed scales.
Yeah. The woman who identified as Yane is up here. And the Moonsinger is going to speak up and say, "You're Yon from Forgotten Zone Fire."
Forgotten Andumias.
She's going to nod and speak up and say, "You've chased a beast to the southern seas. Our Yandar hunts many. If you care to finish this hunt, you should work swiftly. Otherwise, my Yane will have its head soon."
Considering my last Yondar was not able to hunt it, and I don't know how well my current Yondar is well equipped enough.
Wait. She holds up a hand. What's wrong with you? Your water's not here. She's gonna roll an Arcana check.
Can Cal do a funny thing and try to give her help? Kind of just
Go for
holding
it.
his.
How do you give help?
He holds his arms out and say, "If you need me to show anything to help you, just say it and I will do."
Okay. She fails and she fails. And Cal, the chamber is going to flood. A bubble forming over that pond in the middle. And she is going to swim to the back corner. And let's go with this. What is this? That'll be fine. No, that's too beautiful. We'll go with this one. That's fine.
No.
I'm not going to make you roll combat, or initiative yet, but she is going to say, "You are of the mind, but you are physically here. Your water, the essence of you, is now and then stretched over the spiritual realm, like a tarp, like a net, being pulled to its limits."
Same thing with my prey, I guess.
When I feel you, I don't feel one.
There's another attached to my soul. As strange as that sounds. And on that side is where my prey went and was dragged. Another reason why I think, and looks at the guard, they might struggle. Using the term that they refer to themselves as, Yar,
Yane.
I think? Yane. The same reason why
I
I
will
believe.
put this in
Thank you.
your chat. Mirai pronouns are weird.
I'm
Send
trying
that you.
to remember. Where's the document with the old word terms?
I can link it to you. It's on the wiki under Old Tongue.
Yes, I would like
Um,
Old Tongue terms real quick, because despite Cal not knowing Old Tongue, there is a term that I thought I saw, and I want to double check to make sure that he's referring to it correctly.
Yeah, I had one brief night of insane world building talking to Insomni where I was like, oh god, I think all Mirai are gender fluid.
Wow, you talked to the gender fluid person and decided that their favorite race was gender fluid? Wild.
I have that whole conversation saved in my notes, by the way,
Good.
which I can give that to you guys too. But yeah, Cal, as you say there is another, she's going to say, so you have stuck with the spiritual guide through the spiritual sea.
I do not understand it myself. But that is what I understand. My prey got dragged to the spiritual sea by an archblight plague lord. I was pulled to that side. I wished to fight, and my prey left before I could fight it again. It's the second time it has escaped me. Not.
She's going to move forward, the water draining from the chamber, and reach out and touch you. There is a moment of silence, of fear, as you feel her explore this presence that you felt with you this whole time. And she's going to say, you don't have a guide who's adept at navigating the spiritual sea. This is dangerous, you know.
I have been.
They are but a memory, but they can become so much more if they were to get you lost there.
Many of the people who I have been around lately have one akin to this as well.
And Cal, your attachment is to Vanvi, I believe.
Yes. It is to Vanvi.
As she closes her eyes, she's going to say, and this guide is a surface dweller.
She is a spawn like me, although indifferent. In the same way. That is. All I know is she seeks to make understanding. And that we both can agree on. Besides that, I do not understand. I do not know, and I thought I could see answers here. I am Yate?
Yane.
No. The Old Tongue Yate, or
Oh.
YTE. The Old Tongue term
Yite?
for one... Yite. I am Yite. One who is whatever the primordial equivalent of Yite is.
Okay.
One who is
and-
learning.
Yeah, at that, I think a moonsinger can respect humbleness. And if you wish to study amongst our Yandar, to become Yang, like those who reside here, I can welcome you to this. We embrace the old ways without fault. I do not abandon my songs. With that, what you wish to learn, what you wish to be taught, can all happen. But the surface dwellers, our world should remain separate. They've already tried once to steal our magic.
They wish to steal magic. They wish to steal from me as well. I understand. The surface dwellers that I travel with need my aid as much as I wish to learn here. They are trying to seek guidance.
What is it that you want to know?
I want to know more about what I can do. And I wish to know more about a song I have learned.
Oh, that you said that right on the drum drop.
Got chills.
And yeah, she's going to say, you know a Moonsinger song?
I will give a slow nod. One of Sunless Steps.
Shiza, leave us. The other Mira in the chamber is going to nod and back out into the ocean. You told her you know the Song of Sunless Deaths?
Yes.
She is, oof. Let me pull up my document on that song to make sure I don't mislead you. Because it's been a hot second. She's, going to say, what do you know of the spiritual sea that you're attached to?
I know that it is currently being used by the Archblight to move where they cannot move, where they cannot normally tread. I know that it is where souls can go and where physical form does not always match spiritual and soul. And all I know so far is when I sing that song, those who are wise become durable, and those who are durable become much smarter.
All life is water, and all water is connected. For moments, the water is shaped by the lives we live, and it remembers those. Memories are stored in this essence, and when the pieces rejoin the whole, all of that gets mixed and lost together. The sea, the spiritual sea, this realm of minds, is our way of sorting through, sailing through, and swimming through each of those individual memories, finding moments, finding places, finding ourselves, what we were, and sometimes what we will be. There is another, a mirror of the sea. It is a singularity where each of these memories that has rejoined, the ones that are lost forever, all become one. One mind, one memory, one moment, one singularity. This song of the sunless depths is of the loss of that one mind. To sing it is to embrace it, to let yourself become part of it. Whether that's profane or not is for you to decide. The songs we sing, the tales we record, the waves we tend to, the lives we help shepherd beyond are all the different individual shapes that water takes. The singularity is to forsake that. There are sisters of mine that learned of it and have embraced it, and the more they sung, the more they're lost. They have become a part of it.
Out of character, what Cal is understanding and processing this as is the more he tries to delve and understand this song and use it, the more likely he is going to be lost to the Sea of Souls, correct?
Yeah, and I think I explained this the first couple of times you use the song, that when Cal sings this, he feels like he becomes part of something greater. Like that, like there's this great mind, this great presence just beyond or below him. And singing this, you get just a little bit closer to it as it's guiding you.
Do you want to know what is the call that pulls, that those who sing this is being pulled into?
She's going to, well, actually, she'll think on it for a second and say, those who escape the sunless depths, those who come from the reaches, we fight. They break away from a part of this. As to what the singularity is and its nature, my sisters embrace it, and that often is the end of what they are. Moonsingers are eternal. We don't study it, we don't seek its knowledge. It resides in worlds beyond, but there is the traveler. She'll kind of hiss his name. You might know him as Talaquin here.
Talaquin.
He swims not only the singularity, but the realm of minds, too. He takes to guiding surface dwellers through these seas. Leads them to enlightenments that they'd never gain otherwise.
You asked me what I wish when I first entered this chamber, correct? What do I wish to achieve?
Sholanod.
I'm going to use the old tongue version, but whatever the primordial equivalent would be, I wish to be yen for those in Yan during an eclipse, both darkness and light, to be able to guide those who have fallen to a spot where the moon can reach, and for those who cannot see, I will give them sight. That is my desire.
Roll me a history check. And this is kind of like a far off shot in the dark for you.
I'm probably not gonna make it.
That's fine. I'm gonna say DC 15 on it. It's not gonna be an easy one.
I'm going to spend 30 fortune. I am down to 10 because you wanted me to start using this a little bit more. Let's see if I can have advantage.
That's it. So you haven't been on the surface long, but in the time you've been on the surface, it's been chaos, blood, wars, dark water events, world-encompassing fog choking out things, and this is finally like the first month that you've been up here where it's like you can just breathe and enjoy the sunshine and enjoy that like the world isn't ending tomorrow. So right when you got to the surface, there was an event that has very, very, very loosely and thinly been discussed in this campaign. And I would say that it's on the back of Cal's mind. But as you're trying to make some like headway with her, some of the things she said and like what you're aiming for, there is healing that has to happen there, and you're going to think of some of these. So very, very early, talking about the Gaiori's outreach to to all of these distant nations, why the Gaiori's even here, there was a big multi-nation war, and I would say Cal's heard the snippets of this from like other people who have fought and lost their lives in this. Very specifically because the Gaiori have figured out how to use ancient Kayan magic tech structures. They have those crystals where they can do all different types of magical miracles in any area, and just this interconnected magical network. The reason this war was fought was because the leader of the Gaiori, the leader of Undar, figured out how to use that network to turn off everybody's ability to use magic, to turn off everybody's connection to the arcane, to the divine, to these great concepts greater than them, to make this network, instead of a thing of giving, of siphoning and taking. And when other nations of the world experienced this and saw that she had this power, people came together to fight her. And so now Undar is in this weird place where they have this great, almost nuclear missile type technology, but they have been in a month-long war, or 2-month-long war with essentially every other nation, and they're weak, and so they're taking time to like lick their wounds. Cal, she mentioned that her main distrust is that surface dwellers have tried again to steal her magic, and you have noticed all of these crystals are destroyed. Every one of because they are living in the ruins of these kayak structures, and every one of these connections to the Kayan network and the Undar network of magic, the Marai have shattered them. There is nothing you can do to mend these two cultures as long as the things that these people have experienced, they still see it as the people you're trying to get them to work with. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
The Gaiori tried to steal their magic, and they're just we're back to separating from the surface. And you're like, hey, the surface isn't so bad. And it's like, no, fuck those people.
Cal is going to... I noticed the crystal network that you destroyed. The destroyed crystals here. There's another one being used. Several other ones being used by people who are searching for this magic still. Searching for me. I wish to try to help destroy those and help make sure that the world will not be siphoned from what hope they have.
Make me a persuasion check.
Come on, Cal. 11.
It's not the worst thing you could roll, especially with the 0. I would say that Oren's mind seems at work with a lot of the stuff you've shared. And I think she'll say, we've spoken enough for today. My Yendar protects this harbor and protects this bay and will protect the town. That will never change. But for now, I need to think on the things you've shared. You're welcome back within our halls, and you may bring a friend. One. Until we decide your fate. And if we or if you can study in these walls and still not cling, or not use the old ways.
I wish to ask one last thing, if I may.
Go for it. Oh, I'm sorry. For her, she'll gesture her hand forward.
I have used my gift to breathe to help others try to see and understand those I trust, those who I see good with. Is there a way I can extend this for more than a minute, or without having to... And he does the gesture of literally ripping his gill off, making myself unable to breathe.
She's going to nod and say, I'll have to decide more on this one. She gestures to you, who swims between two worlds. It's possible. If you embrace us, of course you're free to study. But as long as you're asking for our aid without walking our ways, again, I need time to consider.
I wish, for clarity, I wish to be able to walk on more than one path. I will understand and respect all paths given to me. But those paths that disrespect me, I will defend myself as necessary. But those who do right by me, I will try to defend as best as I can, and always inspire hope. I appreciate you for your time, as he bows as deeply as he can. I appreciate your time, your consideration, and your patience. Thank you.
She will nod, and I think she'll just turn around, deep in thought. That stream of water will just come forward from like the open doors and windows, and will offer you that quick path back.
Before he accepts it, he will leave with this statement. For many who have thought that they were lost, there should always be a light to guide them, no matter how small. And he leaves.
Okay. You can touch the stream, and the current will pull, move, and guide you back to the surface. You are just outside at a reef outside the harbor. You can start swimming your way over there, but you see your ship in the distance. You have access to the Mirai markets if you so desire in the future. So that went a little longer than I wanted. Ramon and Insomni, would you be offended if I say I'll handle you two next session?
I don't need a thing. I'm just helping Joe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry I took so long.
But
You're
it was
fine.
important. That's
There
not
was a-
the only time you'll see this Yandar. Probably. Maybe. So we'll pick...
Foreshadowing.
We'll pick up here next session inside of Nortvigar. Lots and lots of stuff happened tonight.
Ooh, I used a lot of fortune and misfortune tonight.
Dead chicken, or undead chicken prevented, and a pretty good chicken funeral. Cleansing the body of
R.I.P.
Cleansing the body of the
Admiral. Vice Admiral.
Admiral of the Blight, so he can potentially be resurrected. There's just a lot. Getting to Nortvigar, getting the lay of the land, meeting the Mirai. I don't think she ever gave you her full name.
Okay.
Nope, just Yang.
Well, no, the Moonsinger. Others were calling her Orin. I'm just gonna put her full name in the chat for you.
Okay.
And
Oranakai.
yes, and then the woman who went by Yane was named Shiza. If you want to add any of those to your notes.
I am adding them to my notes.
All right. I am going to give 2 milestones. One for getting to Nortvigar and starting the next, or starting to look for like what's the next threads and areas of your of the next session or next storyline, and then also a whole ass milestone for that chicken funeral. That touched me. It did. So that's 6 milestones I've recorded for all of you. So go ahead and level up to 7, and we will. If you need help leveling up, just let me know throughout the week, and I'll help. And we'll pick up here on the 14th, 15th. 15th is our next session. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Assuming I survive.